It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Father Kyle Schnippel. He is head of the Vocations office at the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, but a little bit of background. He hails from Vocations, Ohio, where his family still lives. He studied at the Pontifical College of Josephium in Columbus and at Mount St. Mary's Seminary in Cincinnati prior to his ordination to the priesthood in 2004 for the Archdiocese of Cincinnati. After completing a 2-year term on faculty at Cincinnati Elders High School, he was appointed to the Vocation office, where he oversees the programs to promote and attract candidates for the priesthood. In addition to his regular duties, he offers Mass on first Saturdays for Cincinnati's chapter of the Helpers of God's Precious Infants and serves as the spiritual advisor for the Greater Cincinnati Right to Life. Father Kyle is going to share with us the USCCB, that's the United States Council of Catholic Bishops, position on this mandate. Thank you, Father.
Thank you, and thanks for the warm welcome. 85 years ago, our neighbors to the south were embroiled in a life and death struggle to maintain their freedom of worship as they saw fit. The Mexican government systematically suspended and suppressed the rights of Catholics to gather for Mass, for priests and nuns to wear religious garb outside of a house of worship, and expelled every foreign-born cleric that was ministering in their country. These stories are told eloquently in the new movie For Greater Glory, which is in theaters now. If you have not seen it, I urge you to see it before it escapes the theaters. Brothers and sisters to the south did not sit by quietly to allow this oppression to persist. Bishops and priests, religious and lay men and women, both Catholic, Protestant, and even atheists, bonded together in a wide range of efforts to preserve the rights of Mexican citizens to express their religious liberty. And while it was a long and difficult struggle, eventually the government had to withdraw. Eventually the struggle for religious freedom was won, and through the power of prayer and an attitude that they would not succumb to the forces arrayed against them, they won that victory. My dear friends, we live in such a time now, and we must look to our fathers and mothers in the faith to see the example of their courage in the face of oppression, their resolve in the face of insurmountable odds, and their determination when even their family turned against them. This is our time to stand and be counted. This is our time for greatness. There are forces arrayed that want to redefine religious liberty into merely freedom to worship as we please. This is not the right that is protected in our Constitution. This is not what so many of our ancestors came to this country to find. We seek a liberty to be guided by our religious ideals, to serve the poorest of the poor, to educate the young, to meet the needs of the sick and the downtrodden, not because they are Catholic or co-religionists, but because we are. Our faith demands that we serve our mission, Our mission is not solely ad intra, to serve those who are our own, but as commanded by our Lord, our mission is necessarily ad gentes, to the nations, to be a leaven in society, to be a force that works for the good, not just for ourselves, but for all people. This is not a struggle solely for the bishops and the priests to undertake. I ask you today to resolve to 3 things: to pray for the courage and the leadership of those who are leading us through these times, to pray for your priests and bishops, to fast and pray for yourselves. Number 2, to stay informed on this topic. Don't get caught in the trap that this is about contraception. It is not about contraception. It is about a redefinition of religious freedom. Use social media to keep this conversation going. The mainstream media will not cover this event, will not cover this restructuring. We must take it on ourselves to make sure that this mission, this message, gets out to our brothers and sisters. As we gather here today, we stand accompanied by the witnesses who have gone before us, who have given their lives for this most cherished of all American liberties. Let us follow the example of the martyrs during the Cristeros movement in Mexico, of England during the Reformation, of Japan and the Far East during the missionary times, and of the early church, who were the first to sow the seeds of faith in Europe, that as they were willing to give all in their testimony to the faith, and by doing so won the hearts of those who were arrayed against them, that we might be willing to take up the call in our own day and age to be a leaven for society, to allow Christ to continue to speak through our words and actions, not just here today, but throughout our lives. May God bless this wonderful country of ours. May His blessing be upon all of those who are gathered here today, and at over 160 rallies like this throughout our country this day at this very same hour. Thank you.